Rick, if you're going to roll over every time Charles Carpenter says so, I think you got a problem. So go ahead and find yourself another lawyer.
Mr. Webster? Miss Farley said that I could talk to you before you cut out.
I suppose your mother's jumping on the bandwagon, too.
What?
She no longer needs my legal services?
Well, I don't know about her, sir, but it's my friend, Vicki Lang. She's about to be sued. I mean, sued royally.
He was not present at that meeting. And where was Lee Carruthers when public education needed its fair share of state funding? We couldn't count on him. But Hugh Wainwright was there. Strong, vocal, fighting bureaucracy.
I'm not going to hear any more of this guff. You see what Wainwright is trying to do to you? Luckily, this little goody will be shelved.
How'd you get your hands on it?
From that inside connection I told you about.
That's smart.
Not if this gets aired. Now all we need is for that Jean Redlin to get Kate to confess.
Well, like I told you, we've just got to trust her. She gave us her word.
Yeah, well, you might just have to get down on your hands and knees to make her keep it. And this might be your chance right now.
Come in. Kate, glad you're here.
I'm sorry, but this engagement both of you dreamed up has gotten out of hand.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Kate. When I asked you to marry me, I meant it.
Every word of it.
And I meant every word of my answer. No. I just talked with Jean Redlin.
Oh, I knew it.
If he harassed a story out of you
He
in any way...
already had a story.
What did you say to him?
It was more important what he had to say to me.
I think we already know.
Kate, this is no time for a public confession.
The truth is out. I'm sure you read Annette Rogers' column in the Times. I want out of this mess you've got me in right now.
Kate, you can't.
That was our agreement. You promised. You would not retract the announcement.
Yes, for the good of the campaign. But now it's doing more harm than anything else.
That's not true,
But
Kate.
it is true. The people want the truth. If Annette Rogers has wind of it, it's only a matter of time until people find out about it. And what will that do for your campaign then, Lee?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, we're ahead. But if you dump him, Kate, you may as well go over to Wainwright's camp and start working for him. That's how much damage you'll do to Lee.
You should see the smear that Wainwright is planning to use in the media.
You want to see the commercial?
I am not interested in it. My private life is what's at stake here.
Lee has much more at stake.
The entire campaign.
One word to the Chronicle, Kate. Lee loses his lead.
Oh, come on, Sebastian. You've used this on me before. We all know that no lead matters until November.
Oh, well, you tell that to our financial backers. They like investing in a winner.
That's why the checks are coming in regularly now, Kate, which you'd know if you were spending more time here.
How can I? I'm so busy. Public appearances with you, Lee. I will not neglect my relationship with Dave.
Oh, no one is asking you to. Just keep it quiet a little longer, that's all.
Oh, a little longer. That's all you keep saying. What if I were to agree? I can't speak for Dave. He hasn't said anything yet, but when Jane Redlon interviews him, it could change. He may be doing that right now, for all I know.
Yeah. He would want to get to Dave. That reporter's getting to be a pain.
Kate, can't you talk to Dave? I mean, get him not to say anything to Redlin.
How dare you ask me such a thing?
All right, okay. It was just a suggestion.
And a very good one, I might add.
All right, we're in a tight spot here. But I think there may be a way out.
Well, let's hear it.
Would you mind, Sebastian? I'd like to talk to Kate alone. Very personal.
Did you want to read any of this, honey?
No, I already have. There isn't much in there about Paul.
Well, about 15 more minutes and dinner should be ready.
Thanks, Mom. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Say, is there any more news about further rescue attempts?
No, Paul Mason is he's officially missing at sea. I'll get it.
You know, it's funny, Mom. Sometimes I still feel like I'm one of Paul's students.
Hi, Ben.
Well, hi, Marianne.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Davidson. I'm glad that you're here. It saves me a trip to your place.
To my place? Well, now, what kind of surprise would I have in store?
Well, I just wanted to come and say goodbye to each one of you. I'm leaving Kingsley. Well, don't everyone talk at once.
You're leaving Kingsley?
Well, you can't.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Dad's in North Carolina.
Oh, you mean for a visit? For a minute there, I thought you were saying you were moving.
Yeah, I am moving. I'm moving permanently.
Why?
Well, Dad wants me to come visit him. Plus, there's another reason. Russ and I broke up.
You broke up? And you were practically engaged?
That's right.
Yeah, remember I told you he was even going to buy me a engagement ring.
Which you weren't ready to accept. Let's sit down.
Yeah, come on.
Well, it's just as well. Obviously, he wasn't ready either.
What do you mean?
Well, he broke up with me.
You mean it happened just that suddenly, or did you see it coming?
It was a little of both. Am I making any sense?
Yes, considering what's been going on in Russ's mind.
You talked to him?
Well, he needed someone to talk to. It was a difficult decision for him to make.
So you knew?
And you didn't even tell me?
Russ needed time to clear the air.
Oh, well, yeah, he certainly made a clean sweep of things.
Look, are you sure? I mean, this whole thing could turn around overnight. Remember the last time?
Mrs. Davidson, this is the last time. Even if Russ wanted us to get back together, which he doesn't, I couldn't.
So it's really over.
Yeah, it is. It has to be. But, you know, in my mind, I keep saying, well, do something. Try to... Yeah.
But what does your heart say about it?
That it has to be over. And no matter how hard I try, he just can't believe the way that I do.
Russ was telling me about the dreams he's been having, how he keeps going back to hell, and lately he's been dreaming that he's dragging you down with him.
Yeah.
You see, he feels that by letting go of you, he's actually saving you. He's keeping you from going to a place he feels he's destined to go.
But that's so absurd.
It sure is. I mean, when you know that Jesus died to save us from hell.
Yeah, and Russ, too. I mean, if he could just see that grace.
I know, but he can't. He cannot accept that Jesus Christ died for him.
Well, that's the way of grace. You can't see it. You simply believe it.
Yeah. Well, maybe he will one day. But right now, I just think it's beyond him. And frankly, I am tired of trying. Well, I think I've taken up enough of your time. I have to go home and finish packing.
No, that can wait.
Absolutely. Dinner will be ready in a jiff, and we'd like you to stay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm really going to miss you guys.
Oh, Mary.
That's the whole story, Mr. Webster. This guy, Dan Myers, he claims he's got a whole line of clients just waiting to sue her as soon as she's released.
Where did I put those custody papers?
I promised her that you'd talk to her.
Really?
Yeah.
There they are. Can't leave here without those.
Will you take the case?
Peter, I don't usually take on cases from second parties. The information secondhand isn't all that reliable.
What do you expect the guard to do? Just to let her come here and see you in person?
Well, now, what do you want me to do? Get all choked up about it? Prescott Developments almost went broke on account of her.
She's paying her dues, Mr. Webster. At least we thought so until Dan Myers shows up.
There are a whole lot of people in town here who got their pocketbooks hurt when the Canterbury complex came down.
Maybe I picked the wrong lawyer. You sound a lot like Dan Myers.
He has a right to sue her. Everybody does. Whether or not he's got a good case is a different matter.
You think he's bluffing?
Why are you so interested in Vicky Lang?
She needs a favor.
Is this a friendly gesture, or is there something else involved?
Thought you didn't want second-hand information.
It's first-hand information I'm looking for. Talking about you.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Webster. I'm sorry I wasted it.
Peter. Peter, give me a call in the morning. I'll look into it.
You got it. I'll call you tomorrow.
See what he's done, Ione? This was another story about Paul's plane crash.
Cut that out.
Just like he did the one in yesterday's paper. He has made this little book to put everything in.
That must have been the reason why he asked Babs to pick him up a jar of glue.
But Ione, he won't even talk about Paul. All he'll do is collect everything he can get his hands on that's about him.
Oh, sweetheart, that's just a little boy's way of grieving over his daddy.
But I want him to know that I care, too.
Oh, and he knows that. And he seemed to listen when Terry Davison told him that, too.
I'm beginning to wonder. You realize Paul was his whole world?
Sweetheart, you're a part of that world, too.
Did you know that Eric was still hoping that Paul and I'd get back together again?
Oh, that's just natural.
Well, the idea was becoming my prayer, too. I just so hoped that Paul would see that I was not the person I used to be, not the old Miriam, that I was a new person.
Well, don't you think he got a glimpse of that when you and your father visited him in England?
No, not really. Except once he did say that I seemed a little different.
Well, there. You see, he did see that God had made a difference in your life.
Well, I suppose so, but I think the really important thing now is to make a home for Eric.
Oh, Miriam, I told you this home is just yours as long as you need it.
I know. Thank you, Ione, but I think really Eric and I should leave.
Oh, no, honey. If it's about Nancy, you don't have to worry about Nancy. That must be my other guest. I forgot to tell you, we're having one more for dinner tonight.
Oh, hey, Miss Evelyn.
Well, come on in. I'm so glad you could make it.
I hope you don't mind my mixing a little bit of business with pleasure. Ah, Miriam, you just happen to be the business.
Kate, I love you, and I really want what's best for you.
Get to the point, Lee. You said you knew a way out of this predicament.
Yes, I do. But again, it pretty much depends on you.
Oh, keeping in character. How can I save your campaign this time?
By being honest with yourself.
If we're back on honesty, may I remind you of your lack of it?
Tell me something, Kate. Does Dave really mean anything to you, or are you just living off old memories?
Oh, Lee, please.
No, listen to me for once, Kate. Aren't you sorting out your old feelings for him? Be honest. Sure, you're glad for his comeback. Everybody wants the underdog to win, but do you really love him? I mean, really love him.
If this is your idea of a solution to this predicament, it is way off base.
But why haven't you committed yourself to him?
Well, who says I haven't?
All right. Then I guess the question is when.
Well, I don't know when.
But it seems to me that you would if the chemistry between you was still there.
Now, I have heard enough.
Does he really make you happy? Does he think the same as you still? Still have the same dreams and goals? Or do you just feel sorry for the guy? You lost with him once, Kate. Can you honestly afford a second time?
Stop it. You have no right to say those things to me.
But I do, if it'll help you see the truth. If it'll help you on your way toward a new life, a new beginning with someone who really cares and can provide that second chance. a chance to win instead of lose. I'll wait it out for you, Kate. Election or no election. But you've got to be honest with yourself. You can't afford not to be.
Now, hey, I'm really sorry I held things up. Really.
Not as much as we are. Where were you?
Marianne. I saw Russ at Leon's today, and, man, I was floored when he told me you guys broke up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to help Ben and Lori in the kitchen now.
Sure. We'll be in a second.
I think it's my timing.
I think so, too. Now, where were you?
I went to see Mr. Webster.
What were you doing there? Are you still job hunting?
You know I'm not into law. Might help if I was, though, for Vicky. She needs a lawyer.
Don't tell me she's gotten herself into more trouble.
No, she didn't do anything. But what I understand is that some of the people who lost money when the Canterbury collapsed, they may be suing her.
Peter, look, I hope you're not getting too involved in all of this.
I just want to help her.
Yeah, I know, that's fine. That's wonderful. But I think it may be better if you don't.
How can you say that? Come on. Look, I'm just doing what you told me to do. Help people when they need help.
Peter, all I'm saying is that...
Round 2, after dinner, folks, okay? Yeah, come on.
It's a good idea, Lori. Let's eat.
Miriam, look, why don't you go on over there and sit down? Bab said she's going to have to stay at the office a little bit longer because she's got some typing to do again. Miriam, what I've got for you here is just it's a copy of the custody papers. I think you ought to hold on to them. You're going to need them.
Harold, I already know what it says unless it was changed.
Well, something's changed. They're going to be contested.
What?
Oh, we don't need to guess who's doing it.
Okay, it's Daddy, isn't it?
It's his plan.
Well, I should have known it. He really hasn't wasted any time, has he? It has been less than a week since that plane crash.
Well, you know your father. He always likes to take advantage of a situation. Any situation.
Well, I wonder, has he given any thought to what a tug-of-war like that will do to Eric?
Oh, apparently not.
Oh, I'm sure he hasn't. All he wants is that boy for his own. I don't think he's given any consideration whatsoever to whether or not Eric's interested in staying with him.
Harold, I am responsible for Eric, not Daddy.
Yes, he's being taken care of. She's seeing to that.
Oh, I'm sure of that. I don't doubt that a bit. But, well, you know, Charles, when he gets to where he wants something, there's no such thing as fair play.
Wait a minute, you don't think that he would try taking Eric away from me again, do you?
Oh, I hope he's not going to be stupid enough to try another trick like that.
No, that's not his plan. He has something else in mind. He wants to take you to court and prove incompetence.
Incompetence? Oh, this is great. First to my face and now in a court of law?
And he'll use everything he can to get it, including your divorce from Paul and all of the time you spent in the hospital because of those pills that Nancy forced on you.
Oh, dear Lord, just when we were trying to overcome all that hard feeling between the two of them.
Harold, thank you for the warning. But even though he is my father and I still love him, if I have to, I will fight him on this. He won't have my son.
And you will not have to go up against him alone, Miriam.
No, honey, you won't because I'm in your corner.
Yeah, me too. If you need a lawyer.
What do you mean, me too?
Miriam, I'm not representing your father anymore. And I would actually jump at the opportunity to take on a case against him.
Trying not to cry. If I stay any longer,
I'll probably just beat you to it.
And if she doesn't, I will. We're going to miss you, Marianne.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. All right.
Peter.
I'd love a postcard from North Carolina.
Well, you'll get one. You'll get lots of them.
Okay.
All of you. Excuse me.
I love you. Bye.
Well, always go for a visit.
Yeah. Well, let's not start crying all evening long. Come on, Peter. You and I have volunteered to do the dishes.
We have.
Yeah, come on.
What is
Gotta
this,
get 'em done.
punishment for being late? Come on.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the dishes taken care of. Now what can we do?
I think let's sit down. I've been having contractions all night.
Well, why didn't you... Breathe. Don't forget breathing. Breathing. Don't forget breathing. That's it. Easy. Good. Slow. That's it. Easy. That's it. Good. Easy. I think this is it. Wait, cleansing breath. Lord, I really think this is it.